Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of the Brotherhood of the Arrow and Sword. Today, joining us is Mr. Chuck Goodwin of Team USA.
Welcome, thank you.
Yes, so you're a really well-rounded individual, right?
Sure, yeah, we can agree with that.
Yeah, okay. I mean, not just girth
Yes.
or diameter, but
yeah,
you do a lot of things.
Yes.
Now, you are not just on Team USA.
No.
You do a lot of local fighting as
Correct,
well.
yes. So I fight, my home team is the Nashua Nightmares. It's kind of a local team out of Nashua, New Hampshire. And then I fight for the New England regional team, the New England Executioners.
Yep.
Which is kind of the travel team. We take all the top fighters and then we go fight around all over the country. And then because of that, when you go to the qualifiers for national events, if you rank high enough, you then can join Team USA, which is why I'm wearing USA tabard. They just came back from Spain from the World Championships for Team USA. We fought against 22 other countries in the World Championships, IMCF, in Belmonte, Spain.
And you won, your team, Team USA won gold.
Correct, yeah. So it's like the Olympics. There's a bunch of different events. So
right.
The events, the primary events for men are the men's 5v5s, the men's 16v16s, and we won gold in both of those. I competed in those two events. There's also individual events like duels and other events, and we took different medals in that. I don't have all the rankings for it.
Right.
And the women's team for 5v5 took silver as well.
Wow.
So a great showing for USA overall. Yep.
All right.
That's impressive. So what got you into this? How did you get started in
Yeah, so I
fighting?
was on YouTube researching board games, and I saw a video
Good
on the
start.
lower right, and I said, what is that? And at the time, it was one of the international events. I don't remember which one it was, but it was like a big mass battle of knights fighting, and I was like, that's really cool. I wonder if that's around me. And I looked it up, and there's the Knights Hall in Nashua where I train. So I went there to check it out and fell in love with the sport. And I've been doing it now a little over 5 years.
Right.
So I started with no experience and went from just like a guy showing up to keep training until you move up the ranks. And now I'm fighting on the national team.
Now, what's cool is he actually fought with us a couple of years ago. We're actually at the New Hampshire Renaissance Fair, and he got to fight again with us today, which is rather impressive.
Yeah.
Now, on top of that, you do all this fighting and all this training.
Yeah.
Now, you have a special YouTube channel that revolves all around that.
Correct.
What is that channel?
Yeah, so you can find the channel as Woodchuck Knight on YouTube. It's a channel designed specifically around helping people understand the sport of armored combat, bowhurt, whatever you're going to call it, and really help new fighters get involved. So again, I started because I'm very lucky that I live in an area that had a very well-established school.
Yep.
Right? A lot of the country doesn't. There are about 60 plus teams in the country right now, but there's only 7 or 8 full-time schools. So a lot of them are people just getting together and training their own. So my channel is designed to help people understand the mechanics of it, some of the training. I go over different workouts, I go over different striking techniques, some of the rule sets, and just help people kind of get an ear and eye on the sport if they're not as well versed in it. Yeah.
Which I think is our number one question we tend to get is, how do I get into this? How do I get into start fighting in the ring? Because it's exciting once you see it.
We've actually fielded about 10 people today
alone
asking that exact question, and it's really, they see the shows that we do, and we're going to add that video for you to watch in a little bit about. They come up to us, where can I do this? That is so awesome. And then they see a big gorilla like this fighting little guys like our Sir Kyle, and they love it.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great. Now, beyond that, you also do other like firearms training.
Yep, I'm a firearm instructor on the side. I own a woodworking company also. That's where the name Woodchuck Knight came from. We had a couple of different Chucks training with us, and I got called Woodchuck for the woodworking company. And I work for a university as full-time as well. I'm very busy doing a lot of different things.
So in your downtime, sleep?
Sometimes, yeah. So the thing with the Woodchuck Knight channel, a lot of it says it's people involved in it, but also reach out to me there if you want. I connect people all over the country with their local teams. If you want to get involved in armored combat or melee fighting of any kind, the best thing you do is find whoever's local to you and start working with them. You'll understand the sport, you'll understand the training and all that, because it really is a phenomenal. The history is great, the equipment is great, but also the fact that you can just go out there and give it your all, and you never have to hold back, is really probably the best part of the sport.
Could you have imagined 5 years ago you'd be coming back from Spain as a gold medal winner?
No, and no plans for that. I never thought I'd be doing anything like this. Very fortunate to have a great team, a great coach, great people that I can train with, and able to go over there. We earned gold, and then we got knighted at the castle in Belmonte as well.
Wow.
Now the knighting. What qualifies you to become a knight?
Yeah, so the first team that, my understanding of it, again, I'm not the historian of this, but the first team that went over to overseas, actually it was Belmonte, it happened to be the same castle, over 10 years ago, they were knighted there by the Duke. I believe it was the Duke.
Okay.
And yeah, so they have an established order. And those knights, when you go travel overseas, they can knight you if you compete at an international event or a world championship event. So after the whole tournament, we all lined up, all of Team USA. We marched all the way up the hill to the fight grounds and all of these stairs. It was a very long, long walk. You get to the top of the castle, and they have a ceremony there where you are knighted into the Order of the Drawn Sword, which is any U.S. fighter who's fought overseas at one of these specific international world championship events. And that allows me to wear this white belt. The white belt is a symbol of anyone who's fought overseas in our order. Because that comes out of the history of when people went on crusades, they wore the white belt as a crusader, as they've gone on a quest, and that's kind of where this comes from.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that's pretty awesome. So we thank you for coming and hanging out with us.
Yeah,
because
this is awesome.
We love having you, and the crowd loves you as well.
Yeah.
And now my question is, did you have a good time with us today?
Oh, it's fantastic. This is great. I love interacting with everybody, just talking about the equipment and training. People get so excited when you hand them a sword and they get to hold it and play with it. The fights were so much fun. Everyone did a great job. The weapons demo at the beginning was awesome.
Right,
just watching go through the explanation and talking about it. And then just the crowds here is great. Everyone's so excited.
Now the fights are a little different the way we do them than what you're used to.
Yeah.
And how did you seem to adapt really well to what we did?
Yeah. So I mean, you got to understand that at a Renaissance Fair, what you're trying to do is show off the skill.
Right.
You're trying to get people engaged. It's not a competition. You don't win practice.
Yep.
Right. So a lot of what we're doing, and is you're trying to make sure everyone is having a good time.
Yes.
So that includes the fans. That includes your competition.
Yep.
So when I was fighting Kyle, at one point we were tied up grappling. I started saying, Kyle, start throwing punches. Right. It's going to look good. Right. We want to have this feeling of like getting to experience the back and forth. Right. And I think that to me is also, it's a great way for newer people to get involved because you get the idea. It's not. I'm not going to go and try to pound you into the ground with it because it's about having that good time together and putting on a show, right? The hits still hurt, right? It's still real. It isn't like a WWE event, but we're not trying to win. We're trying to show off what we're doing. So
right.
It really is just a great environment. It's a ton of fun.
Now you'll see in the video that we'll show, Chuck is obviously this height. Kyle comes up to about here on him. So it's a really fun. The whole show was really awesome. But we'll show you most of the video fights that Chuck did.
But it gives you that view too that just about anybody can do this if you have the interest, you have the desire. There are YouTube channels you can follow. There's groups you can find that will help you get involved in this hobby activity, sports.
Yeah. So the largest fighter we have on Team USA is 7'1". He's 500 pounds in armor.
Wow.
The smallest fighter we have on Team USA is about 5'6".
Yep.
And 150 maybe, I don't really know, and both of them are on are world champions, right? So it's not about size, especially in the team fighting that we do. It's a lot about working together and having the communication and being able to know your job and role, right? So that is the difference here. Is this was all singles fights, right? Where I tend to fight in melees, which is group fighting. So you got a lot of experiences and you got a lot of different types of people, different sizes. Anyone can do it. Yeah.
So we thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us today, and we hope you folks really enjoy this video and the fights. And if you really enjoyed them, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down below to stay up to date on our latest videos. And we hope you all have a good day.
Go for the legs, Kyle.
tournament fighting. Dame Megan and Sir Chuck are using sword, punching shields, and falchions. All right, fighters at the ready. Salute. Fight.